Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Following the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
A narcissist does not know how to give unconditional love because they have never had it themselves. This is why everything is transactional. A narcissist does not know how to give unconditional love because they have never had it themselves. This is why everything is transactional.
I had to let it play twice. Oh my goodness. Lord, have mercy. Y'all know I couldn't do this show without referencing my favorite philosopher, J. Krishnamurti. Freedom and love go together. Love is not a reaction. Listen, I don't know who needs to be tuned in to hear this. Love is not a reaction should be on a t-shirt by itself. But I'll go back to the top and read the quote from the top. Freedom and love go together. Love is not a reaction. If I love you because you love me, that is mere trade. A thing to be bought in the market. It is not love. To love is not to ask anything in return. Not even to feel that you are giving something. And it is only such a love that can know freedom. Listen, you're in prison with somebody who takes advantage of what you think you're giving them as love, right? You think you're giving them love. No, but what you're giving them is something that has a seed in it that is designed to give you something back because you gave it to them. And what I like to call that is a silent contract. It looks like you're giving love. No, you're not. You are definitely in prison with this person. You're trauma bonded. There's something going on with them that mirrors something going on with you. And so your acts of love, if y'all want to say love is a verb, your acts of love is really about seeing, did they take my act? Because I gave them the act. Oh, did they consume my act? Oh, they did. Well, let's see if the seed within my act sprouts into the expectation or outcome that I wanted. Listen, love is about freedom. The freedom to be yourself. The freedom to be true to yourself. The freedom to be true when you speak about yourself. If there's apprehension, if there's fear, if there's ego, if there's guilt, if there's shame, love ain't in the building. You've seen the Exorcist movies. They keep rewriting the same damn movie. Every time a priest show up to exorcise a demon, in this case, For relational purposes, it might be guilt. It might be shame. It might be your attachment needs. It might be whatever wounds you carrying around. In every one of these new exorcist movies, the demon always tell the priest, God is not here. Well, I'm here to tell you, as long as you got those kind of wounds, love ain't gonna be there. Love is about freedom. It's not about confinement. And many of us are confined to the wounds we refuse to nurture and raise as our own. I know y'all don't want to hear it. I know y'all don't want to hear it. As long as one is escaping from loneliness, there is no essential difference between the worship of God and addiction to alcohol. Socially, there may be a difference, but psychologically, the man who runs away from himself, from his own emptiness, whose escape is his search for God, is on the same level as a drunkard. See, God wants you to run to the lesson. Uh-oh. Where are my organs? See, God wants you to run to the lesson. See, the mirror of relationship reflects back to you what? Your curriculum. What is your curriculum? Well, the curriculum of your spirit. This is what these other clinicians don't talk about. They don't talk about the spiritual side of relationship. Relationship is the book of Revelation. Whoa, hold on. Relationship is the book of revelation, self-revelation. Now, if you keep running from the reflections, you're not going to get no better, nor will your relationships. I'm trying to point you in a particular direction. Krishnamurti said it another way. He said, self-knowledge is the beginning of wisdom, which is the end of fear. Most of you are scared to death, but at the same time swear you love somebody. You don't love nobody as long as you scared. As long as you're fearful, love is not here. You want love to come in the house, you better look at something that you can love. You better pour into something that you can actually embrace and love. But many people don't want to do it because guess what? If I love you, what are my guarantees? Well, guess what? If you're dealing with unconditional love, there is a freedom involved. You don't need a guarantee. It's who you are. Fear asks for the guarantee. Fear is saying, give it back to me. I've made a distinction when we talk about reciprocity. I told people reciprocity is organic. If it is forced, then it's transactional. I guess I got to do it because I owe them. They did right by me, so I guess I got to show them a little bit of love. Breadcrumbing. That's what that is. Either you love or you're in fear. And like Delana Zimmerman, when she was on the show, what did she say? She said, I am not in love with you. I am in fear with you. Love ain't got no guarantees because love at the highest level of consciousness, right, is, listen to what I'm going to say, is undifferentiated. You're still in the realm of duality, fear, ego, shame, guilt, apathy, grief, desire, anger, pride. You're still in the realm of duality. If I do this, then I might get this outcome. If I say this, then I might get this outcome. If I behave this way, then I might get this outcome. Love is well beyond that. I am love. I love just because. Go back. The metaphor, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he sacrificed His only begotten. It's a metaphor. It's sacrifice. Do you understand? It's a sacrifice. Many people don't want to sacrifice their upbringing. Many people don't want to sacrifice the wounds they got from their upbringing. Many people don't want to sacrifice the setback they got from their upbringing. Many people don't want to sacrifice the disrespect, the marginalization, the minimization, the non-acknowledgement they got. They've identified with where they came from. So now that's who they are, and they got to stay 10 toes down. Do you understand the problem with that? You put the onus on your partner to be your everything. That's why codependency exists. Oh, I don't know why we tolerating. I don't know why we tolerating. I know ain't no such thing as unconditional tolerance. Tolerance has conditions. You need to show up. If you don't show up, I'ma show out. And when I show out, that will be the end of the situation. Do you see what I'm saying? That's where most of us live. Love, high level of consciousness. It's undifferentiated spirituality that is synonymous with the fundamental source of all existence, aka God. Many of y'all don't know. Many of y'all don't know. You want it, but you scared to cultivate it. Oh, it starts with you. And accepting yourself as a booger bear, that's one part. That's one part. What do you mean a booger bear, Zoe? Listen, Zoe Williams is flawed. Don't you ever come on here and think for 1 second that Zoe done figured it out. Let me tell you something. Zoe done bumped his damn head so many times, I got amnesia for how many times I have fallen. But in the falling, I grow up. I learn. I evolve. I adapt. And with every fall, 10,000 more trepidatious steps manifest on my path. I don't think y'all understand. Oh, well, when are the lessons over? I'm tired of the lessons. The lessons are going to be here for as long as you're here breathing. That's how long the lessons last. They don't end. You want to reach, love, and then be able to mirror it back with somebody? Accept your brokenness and accept it with the love that you want to share or reflect with your partner. I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent tonight. Let me get some phone lines, or do I got to come forward? When I come forward, I'm going to go back to the phone lines. We got folks on the line. They want to talk about it. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dominique DePrima, and there are so many reasons to take out a small business loan. Set yourself up for long-term success with access to credit for operating expenses, equipment, and technology, leasing or financing, and more. Although the process may seem daunting, your U.S. Bank Business Access Advisor can guide you through that process. Whatever your financial goals, U.S. Bank Access Commitment can help support you in reaching them. Access your financial goals at usbank.com/access. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Unconditional love is a disturbing and unhealthy idea. Everybody wants unconditional love. All the experts tell you, you must give your children unconditional love. If I love you unconditionally, you don't matter anymore. Because no matter what you do, no matter how you act, no matter how you turn out, I decided I'm going to love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. That feels like a rejection. Because love is an emotion, and emotions are reactions. Emotions are exciting precisely because they rise and fall, they come and go, they're fickle, they're unpredictable, the way they should be. So what is unpredictable? Emotions. What can be unconditional? Facts. So a mother shouldn't say to a child, I love you unconditionally. The mother should say, I am your mother unconditionally. I will be your mother even when I hate you. And right now, I hate you.
Hey, listen, I love bringing in divergent perspectives. Listen, whenever I look at a problem, you know what I see? When I see a problem, do you know what I see in a problem? I see multiple right answers and multiple wrong answers. Do you understand? I don't see just one potential right answer or just one potential bad answer. When all of the possibilities or probabilities are present in a physics problem, say like with the double slit experiment, right? When they're shooting a particle through a slit to hit a wall in the back of this particular experiment, there is a phenomenon that happens in the double slit experiment that is called superposition. Superposition just means every possibility is present here, and the mathematics supports every possibility. You see that in Schrodinger's cat, where when they put a cat inside of a box with an element that is decaying that could actually kill the cat. They put the cat in a box with that element, they close the box, and then the question becomes, what happened to the cat? Well, until we open the box to see, the cat is then deemed both dead and alive. They're saying the cat is in superposition. Sometimes we are looking for our answer, and we don't understand that God is in superposition. God is every answer, right, wrong, indifferent. God is the yes, God is the no, God is the maybe. But because we're looking for a specific answer, it always looks wrong. Sometimes God may be showing you a different answer that actually could help you get to your highest good if you were looking through the eyes of a different perspective. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but Krishnamurti says it like this. When the mother and father love their children, they do not compare them. They do not compare their child with the other child. It is their child, and they love their child. But do you want to compare yourself with something better? With something nobler? With something richer? So you create in yourself a lack of love through comparison. Man, y'all talking about I'm in love. Not when you can't, listen, this is the purpose of my book, The Holographic Relationship. I'm telling you, your whole story goes with you wherever you go. So if you're comparing yourself to anybody unconsciously, secretly, quietly, you can't bring love to you can't bring love to your relationship because there's no love in you. Why? Because you're comparing yourself to somebody that you think that you've defined as better than you. Let me read it again. When the mother and father love their children, they do not compare them. They do not compare their child with another child. It is their child, and they love their child. But you want to compare yourself with something better, with something nobler, with something richer. So you create in yourself a lack of love. Jiddu Krishnamurti on love and loneliness. Love, unconditional love doesn't exist. Not for the spiritual pauper. Not for the spiritual commoner. It does not. It's a rarefied space of consciousness. And very few people get to climb that mountain. We got callers. Let's get them in here. Who's been on the longest? Oh, man, Nzinga's been on the longest. Pensacola, Florida, get in here.
Hey, good evening.
What up?
This is a good topic, Mr. Zoe. Nothing much. How you feeling?
I'm alive and well. I'm hanging in there. How you?
Good. Thank
Excellent.
you for asking. This is a good topic. Of course, you had the question, so I had to Google some stuff because sometimes you may think something is one thing, but it's actually another. So I Googled tolerance versus love, and I got a definition, and it's interesting because for me, how I internalized it was when you have an unconditional love, you can go deeper. When someone has a problem or, they may have a certain behavior or habit, you want to go beneath the surface to see what it is to kind of help that person either overcome it, get over it. But when there's a tolerance, it's just, well, that's just how they are. You don't kind of want to go deeper. And I think that with unconditional love, it's not necessarily I have to take everything that you do either, because I think that's where the boundary piece comes in, where the woman in that first clip that you played, or maybe the second clip that you played, where she was saying, I love you and I'll just take anything. I think people sometimes misconstrue unconditional love with being walked on. And I know I did. And for me, just because I'm upset with you, my love does not waver. And I just want to piggyback. You had one question on there, what was an example of unconditional love? And I feel like that's forgiveness. When people think about forgiveness, and this is just observing, whether it's here in the chat or just in real life, a lot of times people look at forgiveness on their end. They never look at it when they need it. I feel like sometimes. So it's, I'm not forgiving, but when it's flipped, do you want that unconditional love? Do you want that expression of unconditional love? Do you want that forgiveness? So I thought that was a real interesting question, and that's all I had to say.
I love you to death, Nzinga. Thank you for getting in here. You brought Pensacola, Florida in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know what you got to do. Get on your phone line right now. All you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. Get ready. Get in here. Truemonger, Dallas, Texas. Talk to me. Truemonger, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Talk to me, man. What are your thoughts about tonight's topic?
Oh, man, where to start? I think people go along with the tolerance side of things more based on fear or what they were conditioned to believe in when they were younger. So they just go along with that. And for some, they may break away from that conditioning sooner than others. And they have to figure out what unconditional love is for them, because just about everything we grew up on was based on some sort of conditioning. We were conditioned to think about this, conditioned to worship that, things of that nature. And you have to eventually look at that information that you were brought up with or conditioned to think, go along with, and realize what it really is. And a lot of times is what they taught you based on fear, because they never bothered to look any further than what they were told. So they just carried that stuff along and passed that same information on to other generations instead of actually learning from what they were taught and doing something different. They just want to continue that same cycle, and to me, there's nothing unconditional about that. There's just programming.
I love it, brother. I love it, man. I love the insight. I love you hanging on the line for as long as you did. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the jewels. Truemonger, Dallas, Texas is in the building. Who we got next? Who is next? Who been on the line? Attila, Houston, Texas. Attila, get in here. Well, you know what, Attila? Let me just say this. We up against the clock. So just hold tight. Wait a minute. Sean, get back on this phone. Sean, call back in here. I'm tired of you calling in and then hanging up. Sean, I'm coming to you, man. Get back on the line. When we come forward, I'm going back to Houston, Texas. We on fire tonight.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
The University of North Carolina confirms one faculty member was killed after a shooting on campus Monday. Police say they have a suspect in custody, but they're not releasing a name or possible charges. Black UNC Police Chief Brian James gave details at a news conference.
The lockdown of the campus remained while police verified the suspect's identity and conducted a comprehensive search for the weapon that was used in the shooting, which at this time has not been located.
Officials said classes will be canceled on Tuesday. Finally, President Biden will attend a ceremony in Alaska to mark the 22nd anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks. The White House announced Biden will take part in the event with troops and military families at Joint Base Mellendorf-Richardson. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys to speak with a real expert attorney for a free consultation.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black. Follow the leader. Following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Are you looking to steer your career in a new direction? Driving for the Culver City Bus can be your ticket to a long-lasting career with excellent benefits and paid training. Culver City Bus is looking for customer service and safety-minded bus operators to join the growing team. Culver City Bus offers on-the-job paid training, uniform allowance, and health benefits. Culver City Bus are now even putting their money in your pocket with a one-time $2,500 sign-on bonus. Let us connect you with an essential service job. If you enjoy driving, seek real opportunities for career advancement, and passionate about making a difference in your community, then we invite you to join the team. Start your journey by submitting an application at culvercity.org/job. For more information, visit culvercitybus.com or call the live customer service operator at 310-253-6500. Again, 350-253-6500.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
If you're a veteran with a service-connected disability that is directly impacting your ability to work, resources are available to help you find employment. VA's Veteran Readiness and Employment, or VR&E, can assist you with finding a job that uses your existing skills. Or, if you're interested in exploring a new field, a VR&E counselor can help you determine the right education or training options for a new career. Find out if VR&E is right for you by visiting va.gov/VRE today.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried New Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Take a little time to think things over. I better read between the lines in case I need it when I'm older. Mountain I must climb feels like the world upon my shoulder. Through the clouds I see love shine. It keeps me warm as life grows colder. In my life there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can
Some people we are meant to love unconditionally, but does that mean we have to tolerate their toxicity unconditionally too? Some people we are meant to love unconditionally, but does that mean we have to tolerate their toxicity unconditionally too?
No!
Some people
You don't have to tolerate their toxicity. Listen, from the spirit side. Toxicity exists in toxicity. That's the whole relationship as a mirror thing. Right? If you're not toxic, you're not going to have to tolerate nothing from anybody toxic. This is why I'm saying there's been a gross mislabeling of love. Highest level of consciousness. That is synonymous with God. Or what the theoretical physicists might call the fundamental ground of reality. The foundational ground of reality. Okay? You calling it something it ain't. If it was, you wouldn't be dealing with what you're dealing with. 1-800-920-1580. Somebody call in and tell me what you think. I'll tell her from Houston, Texas. Get in here.
Uncle Zoe, how are you?
Yes. Are you enjoying tonight's topic? What are your thoughts?
Of course. Well, let me just say something real quick. Look, we love you and we really appreciate you. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, thank you, hon. Thank you.
For real. But so with the unconditional tolerance piece, I believe that that in itself is a contract. I tolerate you, you tolerate me. We don't speak about the things that we know we both need to work on, essentially. And Nzinga and Heru were making a good point in the chat, speaking on people who've been in relationships for 40, 50 years and getting to that place of, I don't like you, but I love you. And my question is, does it have to be that way? I don't want that. I want to be in a relationship 40, 50 years and still like and love my partner. And maybe that's just fantastical thinking, but geez.
Wow, that's heavy. Let me just say, being in a relationship with somebody that's tolerating you is like knowing when the contract on your job is going to end. Because to me, no, I'm just saying, to me, tolerance, because you can only do it for so long. Tolerance is basically telling me that I can see it coming. I have an end date.
Yes.
Yes. So that's what it feels like and looks like to me. To me, tolerance is a type of rejection in intimate relationship, to me.
Yes, yes. And I feel like in my life, in when I look back on like friendships, romantic relationships, whatever, there's always that like weird period of time where there's this like disconnect or, misalignment. And I guess my question is, how do you get past this misalignment without edging into tolerance?
Again, where you struggle is where your curriculum is. Your psychological curriculum, your spiritual curriculum, this internal curriculum. Wherever you struggle psychologically, if you struggle with anxiety, if you struggle with communication, if you struggle with empathy, if you struggle with vulnerability, this is where, in my opinion, your curriculum is. So what happens is we want to move in relationships like we're whole, when in fact we're still fragmented. This is why we get so disappointed when we don't get the outcome that we want, right? Because we thought that the outcome would fill the hole. So back to your question, when people say things like that to me, it makes me think you're putting the onus on this person to be something that you refuse to be for yourself.
Yeah.
Do you see? You're not going to get this person if you are what you're asking for. They don't get to come in now because they're not what you are. Thus, they cannot mirror you. Do you see?
It makes sense.
Does that make
perfect sense?
Do you see?
Yes.
So
you have to separate because yes.
But it's not necessarily. It's more about, because see, separation has become the go-to answer and the fix-all for everything. No. Before separation, there should be observation of self. And I called this into my life. In what way? How did I do that? Where's the curriculum? Let me see what I need to work on, because I was able to call this in. I magnetized this. I manifested this to me. Do you see?
Yes.
So for many people, before that thought process is even put into play, the whole concept of you gotta go is put into play. You see how tolerance and rejection are still kind of connected here in that sense? Does that make sense to you?
It makes perfect sense. Yes. Yes. Right. So essentially, I'm observing me while in the situation with the individual instead of leaving the situation and the individual behind altogether.
No, stay with me. Watch how I hit you upside the head with this one. Listen to this. This is Krishnamurti again, and then apply this quote to your question. Watch. Love is something totally new every day, but pleasure is not. Pleasure has continuity. Love is always new, and therefore it is its own eternity. What are you saying, Zoe? Your attachment style is continuity. This is what I know. Your communication style, continuity. This is what I modeled. Your fears, your anxiety maintains an egoic continuity for you. When we come forward, me and Attila gonna finish this up. Oh my goodness.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
You're listening to K-Drip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like Sprinklers in the Rain and Leaky Faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on.
K-Drip. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Extreme heat can make you very sick and can be deadly. For Californians 65 and over, it's important to have a plan. Ask your healthcare provider if your medications affect your ability to cool down. Know the signs of heat illness and stroke, as well as the location of your nearest cooling center or air-conditioned space. And if you have loved ones over 65, be sure to check in on them on hot days. Learn how to stay safer from extreme heat at heatreadyca.com. Brought to you by the state of California.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
To resist being last on your list, but no other man's gonna do. So I'm saving all my love for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the voice. My God, that is the voice, man. Whitney Houston, Lord have mercy. You're listening to the VOR live on KBLA Talk 1580. So long as the mind is comparing, there is no love. And the mind is always juggling, comparing, weighing, looking to find out where the weakness is. So where there is comparison, there is no love. Jiddu Krishnamurti. Where there is comparison, I would say there's tolerance. We want to see how we stack up. We want to see if we add up. Words entangle. But if one can understand the whole significance of the way of one's thought, the ways of our desires, and their pursuits and ambitions, then there is a possibility of having or understanding that which is love. But that requires an extraordinary understanding of one's self. Love is not a sentiment, not romanticism, not dependent on something. And that state is extremely arduous and difficult to understand or to be in, because our minds are always interfering, limiting, encroaching upon its functioning. Therefore, it is important to understand first the mind and its ways. Otherwise, we shall be caught in illusions, caught in words and sensations that have very little significance. Jiddu Krishnamurti. I got to give him one more. He says, the idea is not love. The idea, the word, is not love. But only when you have seen the whole movement of desire, attachment, pleasure, then out of that depth of perception comes this strange flower with its extraordinary perfume. That is love. Do you understand? Oh, it's an action. If I bought you a watch, you got to buy me a watch, and it has to be... Oh, God. Okay. Let's get Atala from Houston, Texas, back in here to get her final thought. Atala, what are your thoughts?
What up, Joe? So, final thought. I think in terms of loving unconditionally, I want to learn how to do that for myself first.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, I want to be more self-aware and observant, of how I'm behaving in my interactions. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We appreciate the call. Good looking, good looking, good looking. You brought Houston. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Mimi from Jacksonville, Florida. Get in here.
Hey.
Hey. Go ahead, Mimi. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Honestly, I think that we're all beautifully flawed. None of us are perfect human beings. And I think that unconditional love is loving each other despite our flaws, making the decision to love your partner, your spouse, despite our flaws. And I agree with Nazarene. He said love wins. You said it doesn't. And y'all came to the compromise of, he said actually, love doesn't always have to fight. So I want to be celebrated. I want to celebrate my partner. I don't want to be tolerated. And I don't want to tolerate him. So it's loving each other despite our flaws.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you for the wisdom. That was beautiful. Thank you for holding on the line so long. The voice of reason is on fire tonight. Let's get these callers in here. Lewis from Omaha, Nebraska. Get in here.
Yes, though, it's good to talk to you. I was talking to your boy off stage, and he's talking about Charlo got something for Crawford. I said, come on, man. Charlo going to get his ass whipped because he's going to, sorry about that, but he made it personal, see.
You
took it easy on Bud.
Brother, you can't curse on the radio, man. We on the radio.
I know, man, but your boy had me hyped up. He'll tell you after I get off. But, hey, man, about this love thing, sometimes you got to love me even when you don't. Stop all the dances and all this Disneyland stuff. Some days you're going to be a dog, some days I am, man. Love don't have, love, like you said it, Joe, a long time ago. F with all of you or none of me. See all my warts. You know, you like the good times, but when I'm down and out, you got to understand I'm human. I do human things. So when I'm having a human experience on a bad day, understand that if you love me, you understand that what's understood don't have to be explained. I ain't got time to give somebody my bylaws, bro. If you love me and vibe with me, then you know when I'm vibing, or if I feel bad, if I need space, give it to me. So they make this too difficult. Human, female, and male by body parts are designed to go together. Don't let nothing stupid get in the way of that.
Right. Hey, brother, I appreciate the
It's
insight.
physical and spiritual.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate the insight you brought. Omaha, Nebraska, home of Bud Crawford in the building. Listen. He brought up a good point, but there's some limitations to that point. Number one, unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance. It doesn't mean you tolerate the badness or the difficulty in a person. It does not mean that. And so many people don't understand that if you're tolerating negativity from your partner consistently, then that's not love. Really, that's masochism. Right? That's not love. I need you guys to hear this. So love is not a thing of the mind. It is only when the mind is quiet, really quiet, when there is no longer any expecting, asking, demanding, seeking, possessing, being jealous, fearful, anxious. When the mind is really silent, only then there is a possibility of love. This is a consciousness. And when you, Krishnamurti wrote this in his book on love and loneliness. All of these quotes come from that particular book on love and loneliness by Krishnamurti. When you throw in there's no longer expecting, asking, demanding, seeking, possessing, being jealous, fearful, anxious. All of these concepts, all of these terms lock right into the concept of lack. When you're full with the understanding of knowledge of self, which connects you to unconditional love, which is freedom, which is synonymous with God, what are you expecting? What are you asking for? What are you demanding? What are you seeking? What are you possessing? What are you being jealous of? What are you fearful and anxious of? All of these things melt away, right? He says it another way. Love is not desire. It is a great thing to find out this for oneself. And if love is not desire, then what is love? Love is not mere attachment to your body. Love is not attachment in any form. Love is not jealousy. Love is not ambition. Love is not fulfillment or becoming. Love is not desire or pleasure. The fulfillment of desire, which is pleasure, is not love. So I have found out what love is. It is none of these things. Have I understood these elements? And am I free of them? Or I just say I understand intellectually, I understand verbally, but help me to go deeper. I can't. You have to do it for yourself. Krishnamurti in Sanin in 1979. It's very powerful stuff. Listen, y'all know me. I'm the voice of reason. I started the conversation. It's your job to finish it. I'm not right about anything I said. I just want to start a powerful conversation. Up next, you already know Jill Monroe and, of course, her RSVP show.
Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, let me rock it, Chaka Khan. Let me rock it, that's all I want to do. Chaka Khan, let me rock it, Chaka Khan. Let me rock it, got a feel for you. Chaka Khan, what you tell me what you want to do? Do you feel for me the way I feel for you? Chaka Khan, let me tell you what I want to do. I want to love you, want to hug you, want to squeeze you too. And let me take it in my arms, let me feel you with my charm, Chaka. Cause you know that I'm the one that keep you warm, Chaka. I make it more than just a physical.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
The University of North Carolina confirms one faculty member was killed after a shooting on